What's up, good people, and welcome back to my channel where we bond over our favorite TV shows, trending topics, and everything in between that we care about. So today I'm coming to you with another episode of the Exposed series for Darius Cooks. And this particular one was by request by Darius Cooks himself. He was on Twitter trolling the people who are speaking out about him using one of his burner accounts. So in response to Michelle's commentary video, giving her commentary about the Atlanta Fox 5 news coverage of Darius Cooks himself. Because of that, Darius was in his feelings, and Darius went on Twitter and responded under her post to her video saying, "Wow, Michelle, this is a new low, even for you. I wish you well, sis." So, as usual, when someone calls him out and disavows him, just like Kev on Stage did, just like Sonny Anderson did, and now Michelle Brown has made it official that, hey, I knew him as an associate, but I have nothing to do with him. I don't even get down with him like that at all. And how disappointed she is in him, but also the black women who still continue to support him and allow him to victimize them. And, you know, that's a whole psychological thing going on. So anyway, that was her position, and she made it very clear in her last video. So check that out. I'll have the link to that below. It was hilarious. It was great commentary, but it was I got my life. I watched it twice in a row. You know a video is good when you watch it twice in a row. So anyway, check it out. And so I retweeted that post, and yes, I was being petty, yes. And I said, "Aw, him feelings are hurt. Still not as hurt as the hundreds of people he scammed and harmed over a decade though." So I just moved on with life. You know, hey, I just retweeted it, made sure, you know, more eyeballs got on her video because it was great. And then, you know, moved on with life. Well, what I wasn't really expecting was Darius to be using one of his burner bot accounts, which he has. He has had them for years, many years, and, you know, we'll get into that at some point as well. So he creates these accounts, or he has some kind of system, I think, because there's a lot of them. So he has a system where he can then go on social media as other people, and it seems like they are other people, but when you look, you'll see they have no followers or never ever posted and all of that. But anyway, he'll use those bots and those burner accounts to harass people and even promote himself too. He'll post nice things about himself and reviews and things of that nature to try to make it look like he's actually getting great engagement in spite of everything that's going on. So he's been doing this literally since the Cupcake Gallery days. And we'll get into that. Again, we get into each business in detail. I'll show some of those things. So anyway, his response using his burner account, because some of you may see this on the screen and be like, "That's not him." Yes, it's him. I know for a fact it's him. And so he then responds again using his burner account saying, "And not as hurt as your feelings from 15 years ago. Go make one of your sad, dry videos." So again, by request, I'm here making one of my sad, dry videos per the request of Darius Cooks. Also, I do want to address, because I'm seeing it a lot and I'm having to correct a lot of people, because it's a narrative that Darius Cooks has put out there. And because in my first video, I gave an accurate account of our history, which he'll never do, people are getting the story kind of confused. So therefore, I've been defined as his ex-boyfriend. And that is not an accurate account of who we were to each other. Yes, again, and if you've never seen it, I'll put the link above. We did date, what is that? Surviving Darius Cooks, episode 1 is where I kind of get into how I met him and all of that stuff. So yes, Darius and I dated when we first met for about almost 2 years, year and a half, year and some change. Then I broke up with him. There's no love lost. I broke up with him. So how am I like, people trying to make it like I'm heart sick, well, the D-wives, like I'm heart sick, like I'm broken or something. I never got over him. Dude, that wasn't even really a real deep relationship compared to what I've been in since then. So I need to clarify, and you guys spread the word too, that how it worked was we did date for a short period, year and a half, year change, whatever it was. Then we became friends, literally like brothers, for an additional 8 years after that. straight, 8 years straight, never dated again, no intimacy, none of that for 8 years. Then towards the end of that 8 years, 8 or 9 years, we became business partners through him asking me to become a business partner. That wasn't my goal or desire. He's lying about that too. Anyway, I became a business partner trying to support my friend's dream, who was like a brother by that point. And then he eventually scammed me, and I'll share some of that when the timing is right. Right now, it's about everybody else's story. I'll get into mine in depth when the time is right. The time ain't right yet. So if we dated for a year and some change, or let's just go with 2 years. Let's just say we dated for 2 years, but then we were friends after that for another 8 years. How does that make us ex-boyfriends? We were ex-friends and ex-business partners. That's how we ended. We didn't even talk about dating or consider ourselves exes. However, again, this is the gaslighting that Darius Cooks does because he's a schemer and, all of that. He flips the narrative. So he gives partial truths. Yes, we did date. And at one point, at one point I was an ex-boyfriend. But when you become friends with someone for nearly a decade after that, I don't think you really define them as an ex-boyfriend. So, however, he uses that to gaslight the D-wives, because then to them, it's easier for him to paint me as a bitter, miserable, heartbroken ex, which is definitely not it. What I am is an ex-friend who was scammed by a friend who was like a brother at the time and business partner. That's what I am. And again, that for me is not even the biggest. That ain't really on my radar no more, to be honest. I've heard so much and experienced so many stories, and you guys have seen, I got a ton of videos and still many, many more. By the time I'm done putting out all of this information, you guys will be able to binge watch this ish for a full week. It is straight. I'm not exaggerating. It is that much stuff. He's like a sociopath. It's deep. He operates in this web of confusion and stuff. So anyway, that's the narrative he's put out, so people will dismiss me into being some jealous ex. Again, can't be a jealous ex when you dump a person and then you're friends with them for nearly a decade after, and then they scam you. Like, let's use our common sense here, people. So anyway, wanted to clear that up because I keep, I'm seeing stuff and it's like, his ex-boyfriend, his ex-boyfriend, his ex-boyfriend. No, I'm the ex-friend or ex-business partner. Let's normalize not calling me the ex-boyfriend, please. Except for Darius Cooks, who's, going to use it to gaslight his D-wives. Carry on with that. So let's get into my sad dry video. So in this episode of the Exposed series, we have another TikToker. Her name is Transparently B. And she has also been airing out and discussing the Darius Cooks situation. And she gave a little bit of a teaser to a topic related to exposing Darius Cooks that actually is on my agenda for the future. So before we get into her video, you know how I like to do, unlike Darius Cooks, if I'm using someone else's content, I don't say it's mine and then, make money off of it. I actually promote the other person as well. So make sure to go over to Transparently B on TikTok and subscribe. Well, no, follow. On TikTok, you follow. And follow her. Definitely, like her video and all that. Help her grow as well. So let's get into the video and then, I'll give my commentary after.
Oh, sis, I got you. Okay, so he sold his house in Atlanta, right? And moves away because, for several reasons. He owes so many people. Like, they want his head so bad here in Georgia. But one of the other reasons why is because when he had those restaurants, Soul Craft and Greens and Gravy, I think it was called, some ghetto ass shit. Anyway, when he had them, he was saying that you couldn't use any cash in his restaurants. Like, he had signs posted that cash wasn't permitted. You could only use credit or debit cards. And he was taking his patrons' credit and debit card information and was stealing it and using people's accounts, girl. Y'all, he was taking the people's shit and using it. I got more tea too. I'll be back. I gotta take a call.
So yeah, I'm not laughing. It's sad as F. It really is sad as F. But she revealed, this in her video. It is not rumor. It is fact. I knew about this already. There are people who posted that they had charges to their credit cards from his restaurants that were unauthorized. So let's say they went to one of the restaurants and did actually legitimately have a meal. That charge was there, but then they would see an additional charge show up, a day or two later for the same amount, like either a double charge or it'll be some other amount. And so there were quite a few people who posted of those experiences. If I can find it, I'll put it in this video, but I kind of think it's going to be hard for me to find because literally I have thousands of receipts. However, I am doing an exposed series for each of the businesses. So at that point, I definitely will be able to, put up all those sort of receipts. The other piece is where you'll know some truth. Any of you who followed or know of him, for the past few years or whatever, I forgot what year it was, but a few years ago, probably, I think 3 years or so ago, the Greens and Gravy restaurant was robbed. And I'm doing this because supposedly they were robbed. They were at that time taking cash and someone came in late at night and robbed the staff, etc. Darius did not, do anything for his staff. It was a whole thing. I'll cover that as well. Again, when I cover Greens and Gravy as a business as a whole, because there's a whole lot more than this one story. But long story short, he didn't do much for his staff, anything for his staff. But what he did do for himself is he then said that the restaurants no longer would take cash at all. Sounds on the surface to be legitimate, because now you want to protect your business from possibly being robbed. You want to let the robbers know there's not going to be any cash there. That makes sense, right? Well, yes, if you're not scamming using the credit cards and the staff is writing down the numbers of people's credit cards, not swiping them. And it was all kind of shady stuff going on. So then there was some speculation. This is all alleged. This part is alleged. It's gossip. Some people theorize that Darius Cooks, because again, he has at that point even nearly a decade of scamming, that Darius Cooks may have set up the fake robbery in order to force people to only use credit cards so that he can then get their credit card information. Again, rumor, alleged, all that. No one has been able to prove that he was behind that robbery. So the other piece that is provable, and there are receipts for them, I'll present them when I can. If not, there are other people on Twitter. All of this stuff is on Twitter and Lipstick Alley. So you ain't really got to wait on me to create a video to show you what's already out there. I'm just trying to make it concise, but there are many other people in the coalition who have done great work in compiling, getting all this information. I'm just trying to organize it and present it and spoon feed it to the public. So anyway, when it comes to Soul Crab Atlanta and Soul Crab Chicago, the issue is there were people who said their cards were charged after the restaurants closed. How the hell you charging people when they can't even patronize your business because it's closed? So there's proof of that as well. And also the last piece is, yes, he sold his house and now he's pillar to post. And there's rumor about that as well. Now he's saying he's going to move now to Orlando, Florida. People are speculating that he no longer has the house in Houston, no longer has the house in Houston or Atlanta because he's burned so many bridges in those places. And as she said, that even in Atlanta, people are coming for his head with suits and chasing him down. That I know for a fact. People started to know where he lived. I knew where he lived. I saw his house and everything. So it's true. People started to know where he lived. And so he's on the run again, basically. And it's what he did that in New York. We'll still do that with the Surviving Darius Cooks. I haven't forgotten. We just got a lot. You see, this is web of lies. We got a lot going on. But in the Surviving Darius Cooks, we will still cover what happened in New York. But he got chased out of New York, basically. Then went to Atlanta and then doubled up and bought a house in Houston as well. And from all accounts, he's basically being chased out of all those places because of his horrible reputation that he creates. He's just very toxic like that. So now he's gonna, you know, potentially he's saying he's going to Orlando, I guess, to the feds, catch up with him. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, when I saw this come up, actually someone sent it to me. When someone sent that to me, I was like, you know, maybe I'll go ahead and throw this in the mix and, you know, as a little teaser of stories to come. But, you know, Darius, he requested that I do a video. So I was like, well, let me do something that I could do really quick for him. So you're welcome. With that, I think that's all I got. I just wanted to come to you with another sad, dry video to give you another account of the inner workings of Darius Cooks. So with that, if you've made it to this point in the video, definitely please give this video a like so that we can show more people these sad, dry videos. And also hit that subscribe button so you can be bored to death even more. Also, as you can see, I got a life outside of YouTube on social media. So if you're interested in seeing my petty side, besides this video, because it's petty, join me on any of my social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at IAmVellB. Yes, IAmVellB. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.
Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest.